Faith is supposed to bring comfort, to guide, to heal, to protect. But sometimes the very person we trust with our souls harbors a darkness so profound it destroys everything in its path. Tonight, we bring you the story of a young woman, a devoted believer, whose life was cut short by the one man she trusted the most, her pastor. This is a story that shocked a community, challenged faith, and revealed a truth far more terrifying than anyone could imagine. Stay with us as we uncover the chilling details, the secret motives, and the aftermath that left a town questioning everything they thought they knew. This is the untold truth. Our story begins with Sarah Thompson, a 25-year-old woman full of life, compassion, and an unshakable faith. Known for her kindness and her dedication to her community, she was the daughter everyone admired, the friend everyone trusted, and the parishioner her pastor adored. Sarah had grown up attending this church, participating in Sunday services, youth groups, and community outreach programs. Her faith was her anchor, but it would also lead her into the path of a man whose heart was far from pure. Pastor Michael Reynolds, a man who commanded respect, admired for his charisma and devotion to the church. To the outside world, he was a model spiritual leader, guiding hundreds of followers, preaching hope, forgiveness, and love. But behind closed doors, Michael Reynolds' life told a different story, one of manipulation, control, and a secret that would soon shock the entire comm of friends and family. Describes Sarah as gentle, trusting, and endlessly faithful. But even the kindest souls can be targeted by darkness. And Sarah's unwavering trust in Pastor Reynolds would soon become her greatest vulnerability. To understand the tragedy that followed, we need to look closely at the relationship between Sarah and her pastor, and the subtle signs that hinted at the danger to come. In the months leading up to her disappearance, Sarah's friends noticed small changes. Long phone calls with the pastor, sudden secrecy, and an unease that she tried to hide. But none could have predicted the horrifying events that were about to unfold. It all started innocently enough. Sarah had often sought guidance from her pastor, as many parishioners do. But what began as spiritual counseling slowly transformed into something more controlling, more sinister. Pastor Reynolds had a way of making those around him feel special, chosen, and uniquely understood. And Sarah, with her trusting heart, was particularly vulnerable. According to friends, these meetings became more frequent, more private. What was once a safe space of faith gradually became a web of manipulation. Pastor Reynolds, Sarah, you're special. You have a purpose, a path only I can guide you on. No one else will understand like I do. The pastor's words, soft and persuasive, were like invisible chains, slowly binding Sarah to him. Her friends noticed her growing distant. Phone calls she didn't share, sudden excuses to avoid family gatherings, and an unease she tried to hide. Little did Sarah know, the man she trusted was already orchestrating a path that would lead to her tragic end. The warning signs were subtle, the controlling words, the isolating requests, but they were there. As the weeks passed, Sarah's behavior began to change in ways that worried those closest to her. She became withdrawn, anxious, and increasingly secretive about her daily activities. Friends reported that she would often come home late from meetings with Pastor Reynolds, refusing to share details. When they asked, she would brush them off, insisting it was confidential, part of her spiritual journey. Her family noticed that she was spending more time at the church than at home. Small red flags, messages left unanswered, late-night calls, sudden mood swings began to appear. But even as worry grew, Sarah remained loyal to the man she trusted most. Meanwhile, Pastor Reynolds' influence was expanding. Witnesses later revealed that he would subtly manipulate Sarah, making her feel guilty, dependent, and isolated from anyone who might question him. These warning signs, however clear in hindsight, were not fully understood by Sarah or those around her. And by the time anyone realized the danger, it was already too late. The day of the tragedy began like any other, yet it would end in horror. Sarah had agreed to meet Pastor Reynolds privately, a meeting that would change everything. No one could have imagined the events that followed. Witnesses later reported seeing her enter the church parking lot, her figure silhouetted against the dim streetlights. After that, she was never seen alive again. Hours passed before anyone noticed something was wrong. Friends tried calling. Texts went unanswered. Her family grew anxious. And then, the unthinkable. Her body was discovered in a secluded part of the church grounds. The crime scene was carefully secured by authorities. Investigators noted signs of struggle, indicating that Sarah had fought to survive. Every detail, from footprints to displaced objects, painted a chilling picture of betrayal by the one person she had trusted implicitly. The community was stunned. How could the man they revered as a spiritual guide commit such a heinous act? As shock turned into outrage, the investigation began, uncovering secrets that would shock everyone even more. Investigators worked tirelessly to uncover the truth. Interviews with friends, family, and church members revealed a pattern of manipulation, secrecy, and fear. Pastor Reynolds was questioned multiple times. His initial statements seemed calm, collected, even charming, but investigators soon noticed inconsistencies. Alibis didn't match, timelines didn't add up, and subtle lies began to emerge. Key pieces of evidence began to surface: text messages, phone call records, and eyewitness accounts. Each fragment painted a grim picture, one that pointed directly to the pastor. Investigator, there's a pattern here. He's been controlling her for months. And this was premeditated. The investigation revealed the extent of the pastor's manipulation. He had isolated Sarah from her support system, controlled her daily actions, and monitored her movements. All the while, the community remained unaware of the danger lurking within their spiritual leader. As the pieces came together, law enforcement prepared to confront Pastor Reynolds. The revelation of his role sent shockwaves through the town, a stark reminder that evil can hide behind even the most trusted faces. The arrest of Pastor Reynolds shocked the entire town. People could not believe that the man they trusted with their faith could commit such a horrifying act. The trial began months later, attracting widespread attention. Witnesses took the stand, recounting Sarah's last days, the manipulation she endured, and the secret meetings that led to her tragic death. Experts in psychology and manipulation testified about Pastor Reynolds' methods, controlling, isolating, and psychologically tormenting Sarah over weeks and months. Each testimony painted a chilling portrait of premeditation and abuse of trust. Dialogue réenactment, witness testifying. Witness. She was scared, but she didn't want anyone to know. He made her feel like she couldn't survive without him. The courtroom was tense as prosecutors presented evidence. Phone records, messages, and inconsistencies in the pastor's statements. Slowly, the truth became undeniable. The man revered as a spiritual guide had violated the very principles he preached. Finally, after weeks of deliberation, the verdict was delivered. Pastor Reynolds was found guilty of murder, manipulation, and abuse of trust. Sentencing followed, and he was ordered to serve life imprisonment. Justice had been served, but for Sarah's family and the community, the pain and betrayal remained. The events left a permanent scar on a town that had placed its faith in the wrong hands. This tragic story serves as a haunting reminder that evil can hide behind even the most trusted faces. Faith can be powerful, but blind trust can sometimes be dangerous. While justice has been served, the scars remain. Sarah's story urges us all to stay vigilant, to trust our instincts, and to protect those who may be vulnerable. Thank you for watching. Remember Sarah, and never forget that courage, awareness, and community are our strongest protections against those who hide behind power and trust. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Remember Sarah, and never forget that courage, awareness, and community are our strongest protections against those who hide behind power and trust. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to subscribe and watch more of our investigations into the untold truths.